Oh baby, baby, how was I supposed to know?
This is based on a true story about a woman who decided that she wanted to change her life by running, and she ended up doing it along as with participating in the New York City Marathon. I'm talking about one of the movies that will most likely end up in my top 10 of the year, Brittany Runs a Marathon.
'Cause I need to know, because my loneliness is killing.
Brittany Runs a Marathon is the story of Brittany, played by Jillian Bell in this movie, who is a heavy-set woman who feels that she's just disappointed with everything she does and has failed in a lot of things, and she's kind of coasting by. Like, she's going out partying with her roommate Gretchen, she's just eating crap, and she feels like crap. One of the days she decides to go to the doctor for dubious reasons. It is in the trailer though. Why? The doctor suggests she needs to start losing weight. So the doctor tells her, you should drop around 50 pounds. You're about 5'4" or 5'5", 5'6", something like that, and you weigh 198 pounds. So with that news, she eventually starts running, and as she starts running, she starts getting different friends, and she decides one day with her little running buddies, hey, why don't we do the New York City Marathon? And we have a movie. One of the great things about this movie is the fact that, yes, the movie's called Brittany Runs a Marathon, but the movie's not really about the marathon. The movie is about her struggles and her changing. A lot of people will compare this movie to something like last year's with Amy Schumer's I Feel Pretty. And one, let's get to the differences. One, this movie is actually funny. And two, this movie is just more than about looking good. One of the main aspects of this movie is her losing weight. It's not about her getting the guy, getting a certain job. It's about changing her mindset. It's about changing her life. So I really enjoyed that about the movie. Also, this takes a very different look at a lot of this movie is about being judgmental. And where in a normal movie with this type of setup, where a larger woman or larger person needs to lose weight, it's because of someone. There's some type of protagonist, there's some type of villain that they're trying to prove wrong. This movie really doesn't have that. It is about her changing her mindset, realizing that, because she's, I believe, 28, 29 in the movie, it's about her realizing that she can change and that the change will help her. Once again, losing the weight is never about proving this person wrong or getting a job, or it's about her health. It's about her being healthy with her life. And there's even more stuff I really liked about it. One of her runner friends is a dude named Seth, who she's introduced fairly early into the movie when she starts running. And in the movie, he's gay. Movie never stops to give you an explanation. It never stops to question why he's gay. He's just gay, and we move on with the rest of the story. That's pretty ingenious. Usually in any type of movie where a character is homosexual, the movie will stop dead in its tracks at times, or there'll be some type of conflict. Oh, why are you gay? Da da da. Oh, people are making fun of you. No, he's just gay. You see his lover. He has kids. Nothing. He's just support system. There's another person by the name of Catherine who is at first the upstairs neighbor who doesn't like Brittany, but then as the movie develops, things start to change in their dynamics. Once again, this is a movie where it's not judgmental from the characters around. It's Brittany who's judgmental. She's judgmental of the way she believes everyone looks at her. She's judgmental at everyone else when they try to help her. There's a couple of powerful scenes in this movie. One with Gretchen, her roommate, where it does a little bit slip into that mold of Gretchen is going to be the person. I'm not even going to say anything about that. It's just a really good scene between the two. And it does come back later in the movie. There's another scene with Demetrius, who I will say that was one of the weaker things, but I'll get to that in a second. With Demetrius, where he's her brother-in-law, and where Demetrius sits down and he starts talking to her on what she's doing wrong after she had a breakdown at his birthday party. And it's really, if you're someone who's very self-conscious, or you're someone who is I hate to say closed in, it's one of those things where you be like, he's right. Jillian Bell as Brittany is hilarious. Like, she is on point with her comedy. Her delivery is good. Whoever's a script writer for this movie did a really good job. I thought this came from a really good script. So there are some visual shots, like the first time she wants to go out for a run. That's something everyone, when they, especially people who aren't thin, like me, the first time you have to do anything physical, like when I first started lifting weights, it was daunting as hell. You don't want to do it, and you'll find a reason not to do it. But once you start doing it, it clicks. You go for it. I thought this was actually really well shot for this type of like comedy, moral movie, especially the run. The actual run itself is very well shot. I think that alone, especially when they start going back and forth between the run, the graphics felt like a little Indiana Jones-ish, except modern, where he would be like, dun, 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 dun. But when you saw her running in the crowd, and then, or you saw her running in the race, or those scenes where you see her with, they had like a blue tint behind her, and like everyone else was gone. I thought that was it was well shot, and I like those, it's all about her. It's not about, once again, the whole thing of the race is very personal. It's about you can change your life. One of the things I didn't like about the movie, there's not much I can say in all honesty, it felt weird, Brittany's dynamic with Darian, because they explain it how she raised him, or he raised her, but somehow he's only like about 12 years older than her, and at the same time she is her stepbrother, which is really weird. There are a couple of uncomfortable scenes, which I'm not lumping it as the bad part, but some people might have issues with it. There's an altercation at Darian's party. But I think, in all honesty, if you watch the movie, it helps Brittany's story, because that leads to the scene where Darian talks to her. So, at first you go, ooh. And there's a lot of that, especially when Brittany confronts Gretchen. Of course, there's a love interest in these type of movies. It's not as important to the story, but what it is more about showing, once again, that Brittany's either being judgmental towards someone else, or being judgmental because she believes this is what that person thinks of her. There's a lot of that in the movie, and it really doesn't start to hit until like about the halfway point. But I never sat there and disliked her. She's a person who has been making bad choices her whole life, including people who she befriends, the way she lives her life, and she's just someone who thinks, well, this didn't work out, so everything else has to suck. And little by little you see her change, but like there's always that judgmentalness that hits her because she's never changed her mindset about herself. I really enjoyed this movie. Today was, it opened yesterday. I'm gonna give this a 9.5. I really enjoyed this movie. There are times where I did get a little bit misty-eyed, especially during the final run. I like especially the sequences where everyone's realizing what is going on, or the minute we realize what the real story is about. Yeah, this is a movie I think, one of the other things I liked about this movie, two more things. One, I like the fact that it didn't matter that she was a girl. This is a story that can be told for anyone. It can be a man, a woman, a kid, whatever. I like that part. There was nothing that like, oh, I'm empowering women. No, this is empowering you, me, anyone else to change their life, and you can do it. I like the fact that it wasn't contingent on girl power, and it was a story for everyone. It was well acted. It's really funny. So yeah, right now it's only playing in 5 theaters, 3 in New York, 2 in LA. If you're in the New York area, go to 68th Street AMC. It's playing there this week. It opens up wide I believe in September. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Brittany Runs a Marathon. Are you gonna watch the movie? I was really hooked from this movie from the first as soon as I saw the trailer. I don't know why. I'm a sucker for these personal movies and life lesson movies, especially when they have a meaning and they're accessible to everyone. And I think this really is. There's a couple parts that really hit me, especially the conversation between Demetrius and Brittany. So, yeah, 9.5 for me. This is most likely going to be on my top 10. That's all for today. Bye.